The embalming of a body is something we see a lot on TV and movies. But have you noticed how all these shows are usually from the USA? They are the kings of embalming, but here for us in Australia, it is rare that a body will be embalmed. However, there are occasions that do call for it, so what's the process? Let's talk embalming a body. Embalming at its core is a surgical procedure. You're just not alive to benefit from it. First up, Grandma is washed in a disinfectant solution and her limbs are massaged and manipulated to relieve that old pesky rigor mortis. Then any facial hair is shaved off, unless of course the person who died wore facial hair, but you don't want any unsightly chin whiskers on your big day. Next up is the setting of the facial features. Not to be confused with making you look pretty, that comes later. Grandma's eyes are closed using glue or plastic eye caps that sit on the eyes and hold the eyelids in place. Ever wondered why the open eye look never took off? One, people find it very disconcerting, and two, the eyes are one of the very first things to start showing signs of decomposition, and really nothing can be done about it. Now, the lower jaw is secured by wire or sewing. Once the jaw is secured, the mouth can be manipulated into a desired position. Alright, your face is looking good. Now on to the rest of you. The process of arterial embalming is up next, where the blood is removed from the body via the veins and replaced with an embalming solution via the arteries. The embalming solution is usually a combination of these things, which, aren't environmentally friendly whatsoever. The solution may also contain dyes in order to simulate a lifelike skin tone, sort of. Now you may choose to stop here, but depending on where Grandma is going and what she'll be doing next, you may choose to continue the process. Now, as we said in our video on decomposition, a dead body does like to digest itself, so something has to be done about that. This is cavity embalming, where a small incision is made near the belly button and a sharp surgical instrument used for drainage called a trachea is inserted into the body cavity. Using the trachea, organs in the chest cavity and abdomen are punctured and drained of gas and fluid contents, which are then replaced with a formaldehyde-based chemical mixture. Once your insides look like mincemeat, the incision is closed, at which point, voila, the body is fully embalmed. So yeah, while the end result may have Grandma looking peaceful, you may not feel that way had you seen what had just been done to her. When is embalming needed? We covered this in quite a few videos, namely our video on repatriation and our other one on body disposal options, so go check those out. But embalming is not the norm in Australia, but there are two times where it's an absolute must. First is when your body needs to be repatriated overseas. The process of getting a body home takes time, and it will spend a lot of that time in places with environmental conditions that are not conducive to keeping a body fresh. This is why you must also be transported in a special zinc-lined casket. They are trying to get you home looking your best and not causing a biohazard chaos in the process. The other time when embalming is required is when you'll be buried in a mausoleum or above ground crypt. This is a legal requirement in Australia. It seems no one knows why, it just is. Now, other than those two reasons, you never have to be embalmed, but there are certain circumstances in which you may want to be embalmed. These are usually when there will be a big time gap between the death and the burial and the family wish to have a viewing. You may also choose embalming to allow for more time for reconstructive techniques if the deceased death was physically traumatic and the family wished to view the body. Now, it should be mentioned here that it is your right to be embalmed if you wish, but let's clear up a few myths. Embalming is bad for the environment. Remember all those chemicals we listed? They are really bad for the soil, water, animals, and the embalmer. Embalming does not make a body safer. Actually, a body is rarely ever dangerous to begin with, and even if it was dangerous, adding all those chemicals is certainly not going to make things any better. You don't need to be embalmed to have a viewing. It's just not a necessary part of the activity. Makeup alone can do a hell of a lot in the looks department. Just ask any influencer off Instagram. Embalming does not stop decomposition. It just slows it down for a while. So there you have it, embalming in Australia. If you found this video interesting, please support the channel by giving us a like and subscribing. It is very much appreciated. Now go talk death.